Help is on the way for crypto developers facing legal headaches. Twitter founder Jack Dorsey announcing the development of his next venture, which is the Bitcoin Legal Defense Fund. It's a nonprofit. It will provide free legal advice for original Bitcoin developers fighting ongoing legal cases. And with the crypto climbing back after falling below 40,000 for the first time in 3 months this week, it's at 42,488 now. What's the future? In a Fox Business exclusive, we have the Kasta co-founder and the YouTube star, Carl The Moon Runefelt. Carl, thanks for coming on. I got to start with your call. You see Bitcoin rising 600% and hitting 300,000 this year? How?
Well, first of all, I think that Bitcoin is the best hedge against inflation that we have in the world right now. And Bitcoin is also the best form of money that we have and have maybe ever seen in the history of humans. With that said, fiat is the worst form of money that we have seen in the history of humans. And I see a huge transition now where we're going to go more and more towards a crypto economy. And I'm super excited about that. That's why I am, like you said, a co-founder and CMO of Kasta, where we're going to make crypto easier to spend. But yeah, so I see Bitcoin being a hedge against inflation. And if you think if inflation will continue, then you should be buying Bitcoin. That's what I'm doing. I see the inflation just going up every single year. And there's no country that will escape inflation, I think.
Let me just push back on that a little bit, though, Carl, because Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have been moving down with stocks as inflation moves up.
So yeah, I always look at the broader picture or the longer time frame, because obviously on the daily basis you will see that Bitcoin can go down even 20% in one day. So I'm not saying that Bitcoin will perfectly correlate with the inflation in that sense. However, on the very long time frame, you will see that over the 13 years that Bitcoin has been alive, on average Bitcoin has been going up dramatically in price, while inflation, of course, is growing. And Bitcoin is the only asset actually in the whole universe which is completely limited. There's nothing else that can compare with the scarcity of Bitcoin. So when people look for a place to store wealth where they cannot get diluted, then Bitcoin will be the best hedge. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to put all of your money in Bitcoin. I did, but having just a little bit of Bitcoin could save you from your portfolio blowing up through inflation.
So let's talk about use cases, I suppose, transactional value of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and others. Visa came out with a study. They said 1 in 5 U.S. small businesses will accept cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically, this year. More widespread adoption. I mean, the IRS now, Form 1040, you have to list. Do you hold cryptocurrencies? Yes or no? You have to say it right there. It's become very mainstream. So in addition to Bitcoin, how do investors really get into this space as it becomes more mainstream and accepted?
That's a great question. I mean, right now, I would say crypto in general is quite hard to use, even for me, who has been in this space for multiple years now. When I send a transaction, I still have to pull out my little USB hard drive ledger device and use these alphanumeric public-private keys to send, and even if you now can do that, you're still having to pay big transaction fees or so-called gas fees when you're sending crypto. So it's not very user-friendly for the average Joe or, for example, my grandma. And that's what I want to fix, and that's what we're doing with Kasta. We want to make crypto super, super simple to send. But of course, when you want to send a big payment, like thousands or millions or billions, Bitcoin will always, always, always be the most decentralized, most secure, and the best way to send money online. We're never going to compete against that. Bitcoin is king. But if you want to buy a cup of coffee, you cannot pay $2 in transaction fees.
So Joe Rogan is a supporter of Bitcoin. We found that out recently. He says, look, I don't really understand it, which I think you just said that's how most people feel, right? But he sees it as a two-way highway, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yet, what, 100 tokens are created every single day? You have a coin that you can tell us about. But, what do investors do? How do we know what new coin is legit? Kim Kardashian was just sued in a class action lawsuit for a pump and dump involving Ethereum Max. So how do we know which coins are good?
Well, that's a very, very good question. And I wouldn't even, there are thousands and thousands of tokens and coins out there, and it's a huge jungle. And for someone who comes into crypto as a newcomer, it's near impossible to find the good projects and stay away from the bad ones. So usually when people come to me, I tell them to just stick to Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin, hold it for the long term, set it and forget it kind of thing, because when you hold Bitcoin over at least a four-year period of time, historically, you are almost guaranteed to be in profits over the long term. But obviously, looking at the short term, crypto is more volatile than most roller coasters out there. And you have to kind of you have to understand what you're buying. Most people that go into crypto, they just randomly go and they just buy different tokens that are going up and down. Please do your own research, sit down and understand what you're buying. That doesn't, there's no difference between crypto and stocks in that sense. I mean, a very successful stock investor would not buy something without even checking the website first. And sadly, many people in crypto, they are very, very fast on taking decisions, and that does sometimes lead to unfortunate, losses and stuff. So I would just say, do your own research and stick to the big coins. And I would say Bitcoin is my number one coin for sure. Bitcoin is king.
Carl The Moon Runefelt, and that's why you think it's going to 300,000 this year. We'll see. We'll have you back on to see what happens.